Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Nykaa and here on Badass Brown Beauty, we talk about all things unfiltered when it comes to beauty. Today's video is all about my favorite product recommendations from Nykaa. Make sure you thumbs this video up and subscribe to my channel for more such beauty content. So let's get right into the recommendations. So let's do this category wise and start with makeup. My first recommendation is the M.A.C Studio Fix Powder Plus Compact Foundation. This was one of my first ever makeup products that I started using when I first started doing my makeup over a decade ago. I particularly love it as an oily skin person because it really helps with oil control and it gives very buildable coverage. So you can use it as a daily compact with light coverage, or you can even build it up to a full coverage foundation. I use NC41. Next up, we have the e.l.f. Cosmetics 16-Hour Camo Concealer. As somebody with oily skin, I'm always on the lookout for a good matte complexion product. This concealer is one of the very few that I don't feel the need to set with powder. Sometimes I still do to enhance its longevity, but I don't need to. It has full coverage, and as the name suggests, it is not going to budge unless you take it off with an oil cleanser. Next up is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. What I love about this foundation is its amazing soft matte finish. It does give you that matte finish, but at the same time, it's kind of soft and blurred and not like a stark drying matte. You can use a little bit for a more natural look or even build it up to full coverage. My shade is Natural Beige. Let's continue on the topic of complexion products. My next favorite is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte+Poreless foundation. This is another OG in my makeup collection. I've been using it for years and I think I'm on my fourth or fifth bottle right now. It does come in a full-size glass bottle and some of the best-selling shades are also available in a smaller tube packaging. I love that for convenience. This foundation is a must-have if you have oily skin. It's pretty budget-friendly, it gives great coverage, and it does not separate or wear off even on oily skin. We've been talking a lot about matte and oil control products, so let's switch it up with something a little bit more dewy. The LA Girl HD Pro Conceal. This is a cult classic product for a reason. If you want something for daily use that is going to give you buildable coverage but at the same time look pretty natural, this is the best choice. It works for most skin types. If you have oily skin, just set it with powder. Whenever I do my makeup with this concealer, whether it's just under my eyes or using it for spot concealing all over my face, I always have a good makeup day. I use the shade Pure Beige. I have another Maybelline foundation recommendation for you. Now this one I'm recommending with a little bit of hesitation, but I love the formula, so I figured it's worth a mention. It's the new Lumi-Matte foundation. The finish of this is just lovely. Lumi-Matte is really the perfect name for it because it has a matte finish, but at the same time, it kind of gives you that glowing from within sort of a look, which I absolutely love. In fact, that's the foundation that I'm wearing on my face right now. I've set it with translucent powder but a very light layer. The reason behind my hesitation to recommend this foundation though is the shade range is severely lacking. As you can see here, there are a lot of shades missing. They really need to add more undertones and add more deeper shades as well. Let's finish our complexion products with the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. So when it comes to powders, I used to always be like, it's a loose powder. There's no need to get a luxe one. The drugstore one will do just fine. And then I got the mini of this at a really good deal. So I decided to try it out and I was like, okay, wait a second. I think I might kind of see the hype behind it. It just gives you that filtered, blurred finish. At the same time, it controls oil and it adds a little bit of color, but not too much. And honestly, I have forgotten about my other powders ever since I got this one. I really love it. I have the mini, but I think once I run out, I might actually get the full size. I use shade Banana. Now let's talk about some mascaras. Nobody does mascaras like Maybelline, and one of my favorites from them, which I've gone through multiple tubes of, is the Hypercurl mascara. If you have naturally straight eyelashes like me, right now I have a lash lift but naturally they're really straight, but if you curl your lashes before applying mascara and then find that the mascara doesn't tend to hold that curl, then try this one because it holds the curl really well and it also adds volume and definition to your lashes. I really like this mascara. And I love the fact that almost all of Maybelline's mascaras come in both a waterproof and a washable version, so you can choose to go for whichever one you prefer. I personally like to go for washable mascaras because waterproof mascaras are really hard to remove. Another Maybelline mascara that I love is the Colossal Volumizing Mascara. If you're looking for those thick eyelashes and volume is a bigger priority to you than lengthening, this is the mascara for you. Again, this one also comes in a washable and a waterproof version. And speaking of waterproof mascaras, the only kind of waterproof mascaras that I actually like and recommend, tubing mascaras. And my tubing mascara recommendation would be this Stays 9 to 9 waterproof mascara. That's the mascara I'm wearing on my eyes right now. It gives good length, decent volume, and the best part is that it's super easy to remove. You don't need any makeup remover. Just wet your fingers and gently rub your eyelashes and the mascara will just come right off. Now, let's talk about some eyeshadow palettes that I recommend. This Nykaa 4-in-1 eyeshadow quad looks unassuming, but don't be fooled by that. These quads have some of the most buttery, blendable, pigmented eyeshadows, and I absolutely love the mattes in this. It comes in a bunch of colors, and it's one of my most used eyeshadow palettes for daily looks. And at the higher end, Huda Beauty's eyeshadows are unparalleled when it comes to the formula. Whether you're going for the smaller 9 eyeshadow palettes or the full-sized ones, the mattes and the shimmers are really pigmented, blendable, and beautiful. And during the Nykaa sales, they do tend to be on pretty good deals. Like, the deals keep changing from day to day, so you do have to keep an eye out. But the small and big palettes both often go on 50% off. These are the ones that I have and I recommend. But honestly, whichever colors you like, go for any one of them. They are all amazing. Coming to some lip liners. Some of my favorite lip liners are the Mars Edge of Desire lip liners. These are super affordable, but they perform just like or even better than most of the higher end lip liners I've tried. They are creamy, so they're easy to apply, but at the same time, they're not so creamy that they get rubbed off easily or bleed out of your lip line. Highly recommend these. And another option, which is also budget friendly, is the Swiss Beauty Bold Matte lip liners. These come in a variety of shades. They have a lot in terms of neutrals, and again, really lovely formula, easy to use, and they last really well on the lips. If you're looking for a creamy matte lipstick that stays put but doesn't feel drying on your lips, check out the Nykaa So Cream Creamy Matte Lipsticks. They have them in a variety of shades and I love the formula. They're affordable and they are really high quality. This next one is one of my favorite products of all time. The Simply Nam Velvet Cream Magic Blushes. These are, oh my gosh, okay, so I was never much of a cream blush girl, but these have made me fall in love with the idea of cream blushes. They go on so pigmented and at the same time they actually stay put on my oily skin, because normally cream blushes tend to just fade away so quickly on my oily skin that I completely gave up on them. But when I tried these, I was like, okay, there are some cream blushes out there for me. And I'm actually wearing it right now on my cheeks in the shade Partner in Crime. Now, coming to my skincare recommendations. The Beauty of Joseon Ginseng Essence Water. This is one of those toners which is kind of thicker than water and works great to form the base of your skincare routine. I bought a mini of it because I didn't want to fall in love with it, because I know it's a little bit on the expensive side, but I ended up falling in love with it, and how. I would highly recommend this for honestly every skin type. The Uriage Thermal Water Toner Spray. So this comes in 3 sizes, which is great because you can try it out before you commit to the large size. If you shave your face, this one would be really useful for you because it has really soothing properties, and the moment you spray it on your skin, it feels so cooling and so soothing. It has also reduced the amount of small breakouts I used to get after shaving my face. Holy Moly Wonder Hyaluronic Acid Chalk Toner. I literally just finished my 2nd bottle of this, and if you've ever used a Tony Moly toner before, you know how serious that commitment is, because these bottles are massive and they do not get over quickly. And I already have my 3rd one sitting in my cupboard, so that should tell you how much I love it. It's an excellent hydrating toner to use as the base for your routine, and this is another one which I would recommend to pretty much any skin type. The Face Shop Tea Tree Pore Cream. So this is a little bit expensive, but it does tend to go on a good discount during sale. If you have oily, acne-prone skin, you will absolutely love this cream. It feels so hydrating, and I find that tea tree products tend to be really good at soothing acne. If you like that natural tea tree kind of aroma, you would really enjoy the smell of this cream. And the cleanser from this range is also really good. It's a basic gel cleanser, but it lasts a long time, and I actually feel like it makes a difference to how clogged or not clogged my pores tend to look. Like, if I'm using this twice a day regularly, I find that my skin tends to feel smoother. And speaking of smooth skin, the Minimalist 0.6% retinol is one of the few retinols that I feel is made for seasoned retinol users like me. It has an oil-based texture, but it still doesn't feel heavy or oily on my skin. I apply it as the last layer of my skincare over my moisturizer, and I do feel like it helps with fine lines as well as the smaller breakouts. The Foxtail Overnight Glow Mask. Ever since this product launched, I have been hooked to it. I used it last night, and I don't know if you can tell right now, but it has definitely made my face smooth. I feel it totally lives up to its name. Whenever I want my skin to look really good the next day, I make sure to use this, and it has never failed me until now. Just a small disclaimer though, if you are not used to using strong actives on your face, just approach this one with a little bit of caution. Another Foxtail product that I highly recommend is the hydrating serum. Now, you might think a hydrating serum, like how great can it be? But it has a few other hydrating ingredients besides just hyaluronic acid, and something about the serum just makes me go back to it again and again. Like, I've gone through 3 or 4 bottles of it and I still have backups inside. I just love how it makes my skin look. It just gives it that plump, juicy feel. If you're acne prone like me, you know that a good spot corrector is really important. And I love this Foxtail one. In addition to the usual suspects like salicylic acid, it also contains azelaic acid, which you don't find in a lot of spot correctors, and it is a very underrated acne fighting ingredient. And I always find an instant difference overnight when I use this on my breakouts. Okay. Time for the next category, bath and body. Buckle in because this is a long one. I'm a huge fiend for good bath and body products, so I have a bunch of recommendations. Let's start with a great affordable option, the Pears Pomegranate Body Wash. I love how this cleanses well, and at the same time it doesn't make my skin feel stripped or dry, which is very important because I have really dry skin on my body, and if you get the big size with the pump, it's going to last you forever. Like, seriously, you'll get tired of it and it won't get over. Another body wash that I love is the Mediterranean sea salt one from Wanderlust. Wanderlust is Nykaa's own brand, and I think it's super underrated when it comes to bath and body products. This body wash, and I've even tried the body butter and the hand wash from this range, they all smell so freaking good, and it lathers well, and it's just overall a nice body wash to use. Since we're on the topic of Wanderlust, let's talk about some more products of theirs that I absolutely love. Their body butters are chef's kiss. So my favorite ones would be the Sicilian sweet pea, the Mediterranean sea salt, and the hemp variants. The Ethiopian coffee one is also nice, but it's very coffee-y, so just be warned if you're into that. Great option. These are my favorite ones. No video about nice smelling bath and body products would be complete without talking about the Plum Vanilla Caramello Body Lotion. At first, when I tried this, I didn't expect to be super impressed by it because while it smells really delectable, like I'm talking gourmet dessert, a lotion needs to be very moisturizing in order to truly impress me. And this one is one of those few which smells lovely, but is also moisturizing enough for my dry skin. So big ups to that. I highly recommend it. Next up is the Dove Exfoliating Body Polish Scrub in the mango variant. So I'm planning to try the other variants. I haven't tried them yet, but the mango one is the one I've tried. I used to procrastinate exfoliating like crazy, okay, because it's so boring. But nothing like a good scrub to make sure that you exfoliate regularly. This one straight up smells like mango ice cream. Like, it is so good. And it has that moisturizing creamy base, and the little particles in it are big enough that they give you a good thorough scrub, but they don't feel sharp or harsh at all. And at the end of it, sometimes my skin is so moisturized that I don't even need to use a body butter. I can just go with a lightweight lotion, which is crazy because of how dry my skin is. Next up, I highly recommend the body washes from Bath & Body Works aromatherapy range. So these are actually way better than their regular body washes because they foam much more with a smaller amount of product. A little goes a very long way, and because they're from the aromatherapy range, they smell so premium, so spa-like. I just love them. The lavender and the eucalyptus one are my top picks. Next up, we have the Foxtail Hydrating Body Wash and Body Lotion. I love the smell of these, and they are also really hydrating without feeling oily or greasy. If you enjoy an oceany, fresh smell, you would love these. Next up is the Vaseline Gluta-Hya lotion, this particular variant. So if you're looking for a good hydrating lotion, but you don't want it to be sticky or heavy, this is your go-to. Just use it generously and your skin will be really hydrated, smells really good, and it just makes your skin look smooth and healthy. Another lotion from Vaseline that I highly recommend, one of my OG products that I've been using for years, is the Advanced Repair Body Lotion. If you have super dry skin like me, this is an excellent one. It moisturizes just as well as a rich body butter, but it has a lotion texture which is not heavy at all. The Plum Hawaiian Rumba Body Oil. I'm not a huge body oil person, to be very honest. I find them kind of finicky and annoying to use, but this one It doesn't feel greasy and it smells amazing while being super moisturizing. So the way I like to use my body oils is either I mix it or layer it on top of a lightweight body lotion. Now the body sunscreen that I highly recommend is this spray-on one from Sunscoop. I took this with me when I went to Goa and I did not tan even slightly. Like, let that just sink in. Plus it's so easy to apply because it's a spray and it doesn't feel sticky or heavy, and oh, just what an amazing product. Moving on to our final category for today, hair care. Let's start with shampoo. This brand, TIGI, I don't hear it being talked about much, but this is an excellent clarifying shampoo, especially if you have an oily scalp. And when they go on 50% off during the Nykaa sale, they are such a good deal because the quantity is hugely worth it in my opinion. Plus it comes with this little nozzle kind of thing which you normally see in water bottles, and that makes it really easy to dispense in the shower. Another shampoo that I love for oily scalp is this Volume Addiction shampoo from Toni and Guy. It's a clear shampoo and it cleanses my oily scalp really well. It's not as intense and stripping as a clarifying shampoo, so it works really well for regular use. And speaking of Toni and Guy, their conditioners, both the Smooth Definition and the Volume Addiction ones, are so good. I would honestly recommend them for any hair type, whether you have straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair. No video about conditioners would be complete without my absolute favorite, the Requil Muru Muru Damage Repair Conditioner. Another conditioner that I would recommend to almost any hair type. It's one of the few silicone-free conditioners that I actually enjoy. It just makes my hair look and feel its absolute best. When I'm going through one of those periods where I've just been having some bad hair days and my hair is just not behaving itself, this conditioner always brings it back to life. Another product that is great at bringing my hair back to life is this Dove 10-in-1 Repair Mask. There used to be these older Dove masks with an orange and a dark blue cap, which I absolutely loved. Sadly, those got discontinued, but this has been introduced in its place, and I would say it's almost 90% as good as those hair masks. It smells amazing, and it really gives my hair that silky, slippery feel that I absolutely love. This anti-dandruff shampoo by Bare Anatomy is so good. It's really good for dandruff and itchy scalp, and it also cleanses my scalp well but doesn't dry it or strip it. Another anti-dandruff shampoo I highly recommend is this one by Naturally. You know how a lot of anti-dandruff shampoos tend to help with dandruff but also dry out your hair at the same time? This one doesn't do that. It helps with the dandruff, but my hair still feels really nice and soft after using it. This heat protectant serum by Tresemme is so freaking good if you do heat styling, and even if you don't heat style your hair, it's still amazing frizz control. It makes my hair feel so smooth, shiny and soft. It's really good at protecting from heat damage, and whenever I heat style my hair after using this on damp hair, the styling stays in place for longer and my hair looks better as well. If you have wavy or curly hair, I would highly recommend Arata's hair cream and hair gel. These are really good. They do contain flaxseed, which is excellent for wavy and curly hair. You can use them by themselves or together. I like to use them together for the best effect. They have given me some of the best hair days of my life. Another brand that I highly recommend for wavy and curly hair is M.A.C. I love their hydrating conditioner and I really enjoy their styling products as well. I've talked about them a lot and I don't intend to stop because these are so good. And the best part is that if you have wavy hair which tends to feel weighed down by some curly hair products, these will be good because they're lightweight and still nourishing. I hope you enjoyed this video and got some ideas for the Nykaa Pink Friday sale. The links to all of the products that I've mentioned will be in the description box. These are affiliate links, which means that if you shop through them, I make a small commission. So if you're interested in supporting me and my channel, I would love it if you would shop by these links. If not, that's totally okay. Have a nice day and happy shopping.